at no time did they call me a knucklehead out loud. Good morning, Seville. How are you? I'm Lon.
And I'm Glennda.
This next part of our 8-week trip is a 10-day stay at an Airbnb in Seville, Spain. And this was an Airbnb that we talked about and had to discuss because some of the reviews made us a little bit antsy. But
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, you never know for sure what you're going to get with an Airbnb, and we always do a very thorough job of reading reviews, which we did in this case, but we took a little bit of a risk. So we're going to share a couple of the reviews that we had read and let you decide from there whether you would have gone forward with this rental. One from Carrie Jane. The only problem was the smelly drains. Heidi gave it a 3-star review. The actual apartment is great, but the smell inside was awful. The moment we stepped inside, it hit us. And then Michael gave it 2 stars, due to the very strong odor coming from the building and the apartment. So obviously those are concerns, but in addition to that, we read many good reviews. So we decided to reach out to the manager and ask if that was a unique situation. So we did, and they said there are some issues on occasion with the building, and they are working to resolve them, but it seems to be seasonal in nature. So we basically had to make a decision. Are we going to try this apartment? It had a great location. We did like the layout. There were a lot of pluses in the positive reviews. So we decided to take the risk.
Absolutely. And so here's a video of us just shortly after we arrived on site. We just arrived in Seville. We landed, took a cab here. The taxi driver wasn't exactly sure which building we were in, this one or the next one. I, of course, just marched right into the next one like I knew what I was doing, only to be stopped by 2 small girls and an elderly lady, mostly speaking Spanish, which, again, I need to work on that. Basically, it was a school.
It was a school, and the lady was definitely blocking Lon from going in. So that was good.
So, but then the Airbnb host came a little bit shortly after that and let us in here. So we're going to let Glennda take us on a little tour of the Airbnb that we had and see what we think, see what you think.
Yeah. Okay, so you come in from this door right behind me, and I'm just going to kind of flip you around here so you can see the tour. That door there is the bedroom. We'll come back to that. So this is the foyer. It's kind of big, roomy, little table here. And then just this long hallway leading into the living room. But this is actually the kitchen. So we have a fridge, an oven, and a cooktop, fan, dishwasher, the typical. We did check supplies. We have a little bit of dish soap, only 1 garbage bag that we saw. So that's a little rough. And then we'll come back here to this doorway. That's a bathroom. But this here at the other end of the apartment is the living area. So it's very spacious. It has 2 big windows looking out on the river, and then it has this big couch, chair, and the table. And then there's 1 heating unit and cooling, so hopefully the weather is just moderate. But going out here on the balcony, as Lon is demonstrating, this is our view. So we do have a view of the river. Not necessarily any action down here. There's a lot of restaurants along the river, but not right here.
And we are actually on the Triana side of Seville.
Yes, we are on the Triana side, and this apartment is on the 3rd floor. So that is that. And then after you swing around here in the living room, go back toward the kitchen, and this doorway actually leads into the bathroom. So there's only 1 bath, and it's a kind of a walk through to the bedroom. So shower, tub, sink, toilet. It does have a bidet, which we probably won't be using, and a nice towel rack up here. And then leading into the bedroom, basically a bed, 2 end tables, and then a nice bench here I'm sure it will never be cluttered while we're here. And then what's really nice is over here, there's a whole wall of cabinets for storing clothes. So that will be super handy. And then this wall here, window just leads to a little alleyway. And that's kind of the full loop.
Okay, so I just briefly mentioned the fact that I almost walked into a school building instead of the Airbnb apartment building. And I got thinking about that, and that seemed kind of ridiculous. How would you make a mistake like that? Well, first of all, I want to show you the picture that they used on their Airbnb listing. And if you take a close look at it, you see that it looks like one big long building. The parts of it that are surrounded by yellow or gold paint kind of looks like that's the main emphasis of the picture. So you would think that's where the Airbnb apartment actually is. So that's part one. Part two is I want to show this video now where I explain a little bit better of why I made this what seemingly silly mistake. So this is the waterfront out from in front of our unit, our Airbnb unit. Nice little setting. And then actually we're up on top there. That's our unit now. I wanted to show you, in my defense, for getting confused between walking into a school versus walking into an apartment building, let me show you the entryways into each. So this is the entryway into the apartment, or into the Airbnb. Okay? Got it? Okay. Right next door, where I went barging in, this is the school. And basically this is where I started walking in. I just walked in this first entryway. The elderly lady and the two girls were standing right in here, and they prevented me from going into that next door, which is where I figured I'd find information on our Airbnb. Well, I found information on it, and basically the information was, this is a school, you knucklehead. Okay, stop just for a second now. The elderly lady and the two young girls, they were very kind. They, at no time did they call me a knucklehead out loud or in English. So that's it. We are, let's see if I can point to the windows. These two are where we're at. So it's actually, I know Glennda said the third floor, it's actually considered here the fourth, well, or in America we would consider that the fourth floor. Here going up on the elevator, it is level 3. So another thing that just fascinates me is how close to each other these people are able to parallel park. And not just the parallel parking, but how do they get out of their parking spots? That's incredible. This guy. And in the back. So it's just that amazes me. And they're all like that. They're able to park like that and able to get out of their spots. It's amazing. So again, this is the waterway. This is actually a canal. We considered it a river, but it's not really that. The river that comes through here had some massive flooding ages ago, and they actually created this canal to allow overflow water to come into here. So it looks like the water is moving. It doesn't actually move. It just down this way to the right of ways, it ends up coming to an end. So the water doesn't really flow through here. And because of that, a lot of training for the Olympics and so on with kayaking or rowing comes through on this canal. And you see some here. So a lot of clubs that also use it.
Okay, so in addition to the buildings sometimes being confusing, if you've never been to an Airbnb in Europe, you might find that the entry into the actual apartment can be a journey in and of itself. So we thought it'd be good to share with you how we entered this Airbnb, which compared to some others that we've stayed in, was fairly straightforward and simple, but it's still kind of unique, especially compared to American housing. So we're going to share that clip next.
So again, mostly I just wanted to point out the reason that I was confused between the Airbnb and the school. And hopefully you see how that happened. I'll take you up from the out of doors into our place, show you a little bit how that works. Fortunately, the building does have a lift. And of course, it's fairly tight, going up to 3. And it stops in a hurry. So here we are, and then this is the unit here. So just to let you know, the 10-day stay that we had there, didn't notice an odor at all, no smell, so no problem.
Right, got lucky. So we also thought it might be of interest if we share with you the cost of that Airbnb for the 10-day stay. The total cost was $1,200.
Yeah, so a good value, I think, for our money. It worked out well. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and again, everyone, keep on tripping.